Hi there. I'm Alice Burdick, and I, along with the illustrious Greg Santos, were the judges for the bpNichol Chapbook Award for 2022. We got to read so many incredible books, just such a wonderful range of styles and intentions and shapes, and of course the tactile quality of the books themselves. Just a real pleasure to see how wildly diverse and excellent the chapbook scene is in Canada. It seems to be flourishing. But we came up with five titles for the shortlist announcement, and I'm very happy to share those with you all now. Oh, no drum roll. However, let's all have a drum roll in our heads for these incredible titles. So, in no particular order, I'm going to be reading them out. So the first book on the list is What We Call Home, and that is by Terence Abrahams and Cleopatra Peterson. There it is. And it's from Collusion Books. The second title is Safe Vehicles for a Dying Planet by Dave Hickey, and that is via Baseline Press. The third book is Machine Dreams, and that is by Burke Natalie Hanna, and that is from Collusion Books. The fourth title is Last by Arleen Paré, and that is from Baseline Press. The fifth title on the shortlist is Merienda by Steffi, and that's by Rahila's Ghost Press. So those are the five books on the shortlist, and I wish everybody luck, and I hope you all are having an excellent, excellent time.
Hi, I'm Terrence.
Cleopatra.
And together we wrote What We Call Home, a poetry chapbook that came out with Collusion Books in 2021. So this chapbook is a chapbook that we wrote together to celebrate transness, queerness, domesticity, love, community, all that and more.
It was really easy to write this book, I think, because I was writing it with my best friend, and it's easy to kind of imagine building a home out of love with someone that you love. So I think that love comes through really easily in the book, which if you read it, you would know. We're just gonna share some poems from it, and I will start. Okay. How do you learn to cook out of love? Here in our kitchen, the oven is warm, cats at our feet. The fridge sings to us, the kettle chorus. I want to nourish you with more than this body can offer. Give you something you can sink your teeth into. Chew, swallow, savor. Want to render you delighted. 3-course meal, each season to keep you here with me. You love eggs, I make eggs. You love carrot cake, I make carrot cake. I burn it all, you eat it all. Like most things, it is all learned through practice.
Evening and the kitchen table set, the light arranged by the candles, the window opened by 2 fingers to let out the steam. There are birds out in the dusk, singing about the day. We speak in bowls passed and forks clattering and ice and glasses clinking. Some days give, often they take, and on the table we try to revive this one. I put mint leaves on the cuts of meat and a few in the salad. There is lemon juice in a creamer and sauce in a boat. There is a map of all our efforts set out in front of us. From the thrift store years ago for the plates, to the lamb a day ago from the butcher, to the mint coaxed from the garden, greens from the girl and her grandma down the road, creamer from your mother's old tea set, gravy boat from the big garbage day. All of us, extended and brought together again, here at the table. The candles arranged the light. the birds out in the dusk, singing, the way we talk with what we share. Thank you so much for listening. And yes, please grab yourself a copy and enjoy.
Thank you. Bye.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dave Hickey, and it's my pleasure this evening to be joining you from Prince Edward Island in the unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. And I'm delighted to be reading from my chapbook, Safe Vehicles for a Dying Planet. I wanted to start this evening by thanking Karen Schindler for all the work that she put into this beautiful little chapbook. Of course, it's beautiful. It's from Baseline Press. But what I'm really grateful for, and what I'm still grateful for as I look back over these poems, is the insight that Karen was able to provide into the poems themselves. I don't know if you've ever had this sort of situation where you had some poems that you were really invested in, but for one reason or another, you really ached for that reader who's going to come along and help you across the finish line. And in this instance, Karen was that person for me. So thank you again, Karen. This book is really about those early years of parenthood. And if there's anything that binds the poems together, I think it's a sort of sense of joyful exasperation, which is the best way I have of describing what it's like to, try to figure out how to be a parent, and also, just getting to know your kids as you go. So I can't think of a better way to introduce this book than by reading this poem, in which I try to capture everything that goes through your mind in that moment in which you're past the scissors in the delivery room, and it's your turn to snip the umbilical cord. And it's this really weird moment because you're cheering on your partner and you've been there for hours, and then suddenly you're no longer a bystander. You're an active participant. And so yeah, these are all the thoughts that went through my mind in that particular moment. So it's called Umbilical. But what about things better left unbroken? What about the traffic that speeds over a bridge in a foreign city as a rainstorm approaches? Bucharest, maybe. Have you been? Am I stalling? Are you? What kind of question is that, anyway? How sharp are these scissors? Who invented them? The scissors, I mean. Can Dr. Scissors and I have a few words? Can this be one of them? Is it always this tough? Is it a tentacle? Is it a knot? Did I marry a sailor or an octopus? Is this the sea? Are you the captain? Are we on television? Is anyone even watching anymore? What's going to happen to all those satellites? Are you just planning to leave them up there, drifting? Can I see your credentials? Can I get a hit of gas? Am I being overly dramatic? Aren't we all? Do you know how many doctors I've gone on first dates with, never to hear from again? Why isn't that relevant? How long have we been here? How far have we traveled? Is this what passes for mood lighting these days? Did you see her eyes on that last push? Wasn't that amazing? How much can you squat, Doc? 2 plates? 3? For how many hours? Who here would even believe me? What rep are we on? Should we hit the showers? Is the room spinning? Are we in orbit? If so, what's our ETA? How close can you get to a planet without landing? Are we still in flight the moment before touchdown? Why this spot? Is it hot in here? Will they feel it? Will I? How can you be so sure? Someone, please tell me, after all this, why on earth would anyone want flowers? Thanks so much for listening.
The machine was talking to itself.
Keep hands away
The other day.
from machines. Keep hands
Machine.
away. Turn off
Wild
the
drowsy.
machine.
Machine. Wild drowsy. Kills.
Hi, I'm Liam Burke. I co-wrote Machine Dreams with Natalie Hanna. I also composed the soundtrack, which you are listening to right now. This was a very difficult manuscript for us to complete. It took us nearly 10 years to find a home for it, which we finally did with Collusion Books, run by Andy Verboom. Thank you so much to Andy for all of your hard work editing this collection and for submitting it on our behalf for consideration for the bpNichol. And thank you to the Meet the Presses Selection Committee for considering it and for shortlisting it. It is a great honor.
Lonely little boy, leaving red footprints on red Arrakis, carrying along half canter, half trundle, sending pictures home, panoramas and tongue-out selfies, sneaky shots from behind. Emerging from aluminum shell, post-darkside hibernation, diagnosis still operable, just older, asking after, hello? Hello, come in. Hello. So nice to hear from you. I haven't transmitted for a year and a day. Thought I was broken. I kept notes, collated my findings. 87 kinds of dust in the jars. You won't believe it. I've found...
This is the tongue of the dead man. Remember. Remember. Sylvia Plath, Burke Plage.
Pressure stole the sound from the sea. Boiled the blood, smeared fat into organs, pulled, precipitated, turned into paste. No, not paste. Paint. No, not paint. Rendered, bare elements, component parts, sublimated. No failsafe on the body, no vacuum grease, no safety seals or gauges, just alveoli, sinuses, no echo, no scent, no time to feel trapped. Our homeostasis, diving bell, delicate balance, moon pool, butterfly valve, one fatal crescent shift, low moan, metal groan. The depth, pounding on, soft bones, the ear, bullhorn, fuzz, can't hear, tinny, won't cut.
Ya filé, ya sorayar. How far they stole you, how far they dropped you from all relations, suggesting you would find salvation in a second Agilkeya. Oh, you never reached the island. Did the knowledge of your coming separation from Rosetta, hence nigh 11 years, shake your anchor, break your thrust? Osiris himself watching you transmit impressions of El Reb, as below the fleshy engineers conspired to console you with the mocking names ascribed to parts of 67 PCG. They suggested you find the gods, be the needle through whose prick the rock would bleed its language, called you magnificent, coming into silent safe mode in the enormity of your sunless solitude. I am here, all is well, you insisted for a time, like an absolver behind a screen, your influence heard, but not seen. I have been collecting notes to share, but energy's been low. Lander filet, it was Rosetta's eye who found you lying on your flank in the darkened crack of the vast cliff's shallow, crashing 26 days later, her broken heart into night. Hi, I'm Natalie Hanna. Liam, Burke, and I would like to thank you for coming along on our multi-layered adventure all about the machine nature of the body and how we evolve and survive through machines. We were delighted that our editor, Andy Verboom, was open not only to a conversation about humanity's history with machines, but also a speculative and ethical conversation about how we mythologize them and may one day become the dream of machines. Once again, thank you very much for considering our chapbook for the bpNichol Chapbook Award. It really is an honor for us, and we hope that you have enjoyed this brief reading. I'm reading from my chapbook called Last, and it's about my first best friend who died last year. At 7 each evening, my neighbors open their doors, bang pots, beat pans, drums, ring bells, honk horns, ring cacophony one block to another. Nothing is as it should be. Not even children are permitted to leave their front yards. This is the new plague. Nosing our thanks, grateful to still be alive, striking breasts, tea kettles, boards, beating hearts. My heart has been struck, stricken. My friend, my best, my longest long distance is dying. No, you are not dying, not yet, but you have a plan. You are arranging your death. You know the sightline, the bedclothes, the room. You have selected the time 5 weeks away. The day will be the full flower, full moon month of May. By the time this poem ends, you will no longer be alive. Last day of April, moon waxing in one deadly direction. The disquiet this world has become. The precision of your nearing death. Quarter moon, sharp as this greening season shifts into May. Bright ulu blade slicing the infinite, indifferent night. I have known you almost all my life, though decades were lost. They were found. You are now to be lost once again. Maybe I was in love with you as a child, but how would I know? In love is not how a child apprehends. The white blossom scent, full fragranced viburnum, outside my front door. You cannot die yet. The moon is not entirely full. O moon, measured moon, dimpled moon, pocked flowered moon, prosaic, every night, every shaped, unremittable moon, released from your too tight cocoon, gibbous gauze looming, archetypes in these truncated times, magnolia, swallowtail, shy metaphor moon, escorting my friend to her death, flaming white in an unblemished sky. Needle moon, panic, pandemic blood moon, moon with no mercy, river of moon, yoga moon, surrounded by light, wanting to leave its body, moon willing to die. The sun outside refuses to stop shining. I stand in the shadows. A breeze clatters the magnolia leaves above my right shoulder. A bird, maybe two, trill in the yard, and a truck beeps its signal backing up in the street. They do not know that in the house a woman, my friend, is about to start dying. Oh, moon, wash your hands, stay at home, falling down moon, first friend to last moon, cupped in my hand. Even if you, moon, could reverse your unstoppable course, still, she would die. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Steffi and I will be reading from my chapbook, Merienda, published by Rahila's Ghost Press last year. This chapbook is a love letter to my grandmother and my mom, who are both in the Philippines. And I guess as a way into the book, I'm just going to read the epigraphs. I want you to hear the fingertips of a language that is not yours, the shampooed heads of women I am not, Saragambito. My poems are braver than I am, but I'm constantly trying to catch up. Chen Chen. Merienda. Under a guava tree, on a green fishnet hammock, my grandmother and me. We chew small bloodsuckers, thorax on our caramel cake. Lola, it is June. I am back to school. Lunchbox and rain gear, ready with my name, handwritten by you. Dengetu is becoming a full-blown fiesta. The funerals we visit, generous with snacks. The season's eggs cannot lay in water containers shut tight. Inside her house, we boil a kettle, pour mugs of oregano. Silver door swings open. We kill mosquitoes that remind us we are meat. The country I come from is called the temp agency of the planet. To the man at Tim Hortons who shouted, "Come on, where are my Filipinos at?" I wish I was a whip speaker. Instead of freezing in front of coffee beans, it's all good, just insert your debit card. Thousands of Timbits, a briefcase I hauled home as if I have no history. Diabetes on both sides of my kin. Red dots on a map scattering. I thought poems, should they earn enough punchlines, a stellar scorecard of words could offer a way out. I wake up in the break room. Embarrassed, I drooled again. This poem is only a poem, and it is for the shoulders. This next poem is in form of a duplex, which was invented by the American poet Jericho Brown, which is, if I'm remembering it correctly, is like a cross of the ghazal, the sonnet, and the blues. Duplex ukol sa utang na loob, or duplex about inner debt. I was scared my anger meant I was unlovable. Angry, I had nowhere to put this down. Anger, where do I put you down? The Tagalog word for pomegranate is granada. Having eaten what I can't detonate, I agonize. I agonize over gut flora while taking photographs. I take photographs of pine, plum, and magnolia. The trees detonate pine, plum, and magnolia. Without a camera, my cousin saw a child explode. I was a child of explosion after explosion. What does it mean to witness an explosion, to carry it home? My roots, their ears, were once children too. Anger, I look at the water in your eyes. I was scared my anger meant I was unlovable. And for my last poem, I will be sharing this litany called Child. Child whose worry is mercury in the water, red marking the tide. Child whose skin takes on the taste of the water they swim in. Child whose eyes harden. Child whose eyes soften. Child whose eyes a live stream by the coffin. Child whose backpack swells with quail eggs and sampaguita to sell by the roadside. Child whose arms a heavy nest into the flowers she waters. She screams, "Mabuhay, mabuhay." Child whose mothers feed the faces she loves by working overseas. Child whose mother scent visits them in their dreams. Child whose shoes work hard to remember. Child whose shoes work hard to forget. Child whose laugh can tank a ship. Child whose heart is a fish that slips. Thank you, everyone.